Okay, so now we're gonna stream through this. Now I'm gonna tell you, it's great to take notes. However, and I want you to, because I want you to write things down. Like, oh yeah, I like that. I also am going to send you a complete set of notes from tonight. And if you just take these notes, you don't even come ever, you're not, well, that's not really my thing. But you read through those notes over and over again and call in the thing, the path that's right for you. This is the map right here. I'm going to share with you the map, okay? And I've gotten this download and then from a few really great teachings from other practices. Okay, so first thing, we're going to delineate and provide experiences that illustrate your underlying energetic configuration as a spiritual being in human form. Who the heck are you, human, right? We think we're human, but we're actually quantum beings having a human experience that we chose to do. We chose to be here. And we chose to be here at this time. I'm going to reveal techniques that provide the extra energy needed to prolong life, relieve suffering, provide service to others, and assist in actualizing your true nature and purpose while creating community. We're not here to do it alone. Believe me. Third, we're going to deconstruct limited assumptions about this reality and provide experiences that will open doors to expanded consciousness. And that equals more success in life, more success in living, more joy, more joy, more joie de vivre, in experiencing what we have here. We're going to create awareness of the obstacles to evolution. Some of them have nothing to do with you. They're just here. And we have to be made aware of them. And we're going to provide processes to clear them. Faster evolution, because you're needed at your full capacity now. 5, create a clear path to actualization. And there are tried and true steps. And then 6, prepare the practitioner for assisting others in their actualization process. So it's called spreading the love, right? So in other words, sometimes some of you will go on and become teachers of some kind, or we will work together as we did as our opening prayer tonight. We'll work together, especially in our new and full moon, which have been extraordinarily powerful. We'll work together to create change in the quantum, you see, and then it will shift into density. And we will, and I'm not going to get into it now. I've told the story before, but I've seen absolute proof that this works on a planetary level. Okay, so the Immortality Club is all about realizing that everything that comes to us is for us. Okay, I've said a lesson or a blessing. In other words, it's about turning the lessons into knowledge and blessings into confirmation that we got it. The bigger the lesson, the greater the shift in consciousness. If we have the energy to track the lesson, very key here, very key. If we have the energy to track the lesson that we're creating. To track those darn lessons, there's a lot to consider. Okay, and so here's the 6 orders for realization. Rules of engagement. First order, understand who and what you are energetically. Okay, well, I don't really know what that means. Realize you're an energetic being existing on many dimensions, believe it or not. Consciously creating yourself in 3D, density reality as a human. Once you get in this work, you're going to go at one point, you're going to go, oh, right. Expand awareness to include your ability to perceive your multidimensionality in the dream body, the continuum of time space that's like all you have been, that continuum that goes back through your life, maybe past lives, etc., etc. The fifth dimensional body as well, believe it or not, parallel worlds, parallel universes. Firsthand, seen this, have healed phenomenal things from those worlds. Boom, instantaneous. More about that later. Discover all the components of your energetic body to create health, evolution, and spiritual presence. And of course, oneness within yourself. Oneness as your consciousness. Discover your true soul purpose and its relationship to assisting others to wake up, as well as sharing the consciousness on our planet. Second order, understand your relationship with immortality. You're like, well, Val, everybody dies. Yeah, they transition to another state, but they're immortal. And by understanding and accepting your immortality, it changes your relationship with death. And there'll be more about that later. So, in this second order, you register your intent of immortality. Are you willing to accept this configuration of immortality, body, mind, and spirit? Or do you want to buy into this whole fallible human story? It doesn't mean that you might not transition, but if you buy into like this whole thing, then it's fear-based. So we want to start opening to who and what we are as immortal beings. Align yourself with the intent of immortality, with or without a body. So the intent of immortality is the intent of oneness. So that which created this whole amazing realm, this whole world, this density, everything, it is immortal, as far as we know. Learn to reach through the web of all possible universes to the one that holds the frequency of mortality. So that's aligning with the oneness. Reconfigure your expectations of reality to include higher dimensions, fifth, sixth dimensional worlds that it's inhabited by immortal beings. I call this a new earth. For the first time in my life, I'm seeing the new earth. And that's another whole story. But I now have hope and faith that we can do a big uptick. But we need us to do our uptick to get the whole thing to uptick, is what I'm seeing. Align with all manifestations of immortal expression and pull them into this current manifestation. Engage with the intent, I am immortal, daily. Every day when I wake up, I'm immortal. I'm eternal. I am one with the one. I am the light. Those are just some of the things that I say. I do not get out of bed without saying, this is how I'm going to do my day. And since I've been doing it, much more effective in my work and in everything I do. Third order, align with the divine and higher intelligence. So we acknowledge that we have limitation here. So we have limitation in affecting change on the planet. But if you've been to our full moon meditations, you can feel like these energies are like, yes, we will come in and we will work through you. And many of you have felt that energy and felt that experience, that thing happen inside of you. And know, without knowing how you know, that it's moving out onto the planet. So acknowledge that source intends your expression of consciousness. Your soul intends this life path, and your quantum body is the non-physical expression of your evolutionary intent to evolve that is subsequently fuels and shapes your body. So what that means is there's this thing that's happening inside of you. You're here tonight because you want to be better. You want to be more. You want to know, what is that? What is that? I've got the spiritual thing. It's just this yearning. You know you have to do the work. You can feel it. Okay, we're born with that. It's normal. So then from there, you learn to align energetically with this accelerating wave of evolution generated from the origin of the universe. And guess what I saw the other day? The Earth's rotation is speeding up. They're having to make adjustments on the atomic clock. It's it's a tiny amount, but it is going faster now than it's ever gone. They have a way of measuring it to the absolute millisecond, and it's speeding up. And Einstein himself says, you know, the planet, this moving out from the Big Bang is accelerating. They found that by their measurements. So we know there's this huge wave of evolution. And I'm guessing that this COVID thing, which I've seen this wave and the COVID and keep talking about it, somehow it figures into that. The other thing is open gateways to the divine. So that could just be as simple as, okay, Jesus, I give you my life and, make me a whole person. I mean, that's valid. Buddha, you know, Buddha. Those paths, if people live them with integrity and impeccability, they lead to this path of realization. It's just sometimes humans use those things to get what they want, to get power. We want you to have immediate access to the frequencies that are able to train you to actualizing your immortal self. In other words, if you sat here and tried to figure things out on your own, you can't do it in your brain. We need divine frequencies, and we need higher intelligence. And that higher intelligence is becoming more and more available to groups like us. Therefore, you realize and actualize your divine purpose. Like, why did I get here? And as you do that, the lessons come in a more gorgeous way. If you're living your purpose, healer, artist, teacher, worker, doesn't matter. If you're living what you came here to do in a way that's wholesome, you're going to start to realize more and more your divine purpose here and actualize that divinity through you. All for the idea to upgrade this reality to a new earth. Okay. Fourth order, gather extra energy. This is key. This is what the Immortality Club wants to share with you, wants to teach you. All the practices that have come through me, I've learned the ideas from a few places, but then they've been really tailored. These ancient, some of them practices are very ancient, but they've been tailored for the modern person because you're a modern person. I know you all. You're not sitting in a cave. Om, Shanti, Om, Om. You're out there working or doing your best to be out there working to provide for yourself and your family. So what we've learned is that we've got to gather extra energy in order to accelerate this evolution. And these practices are there to as an offering for that. In order to do this, you have to understand entropy, which is, second law of thermodynamics. If you don't put energy into something, it falls to ruin. Basically what it says. You leave a room, you close it up, it gets dusty, right? In 100 years, things rot. Food rots, trees come and go. This is how it is. It's called entropy, and it's in the whole universe. And entropy is really that thing. It's that winding down, and that in the cells getting tired, and you leave the physical body of the planet. We want to gather energy from many sources to counter this entropic tendency that we experience here in density reality. We want to gain access to additional sources of energy that can be utilized to evolve, manifest, and transcend human limitation, as well as assist others in transcending. In other words, you need extra energy to manifest things. Like even this work, which I've taught before, I had to gather energy to really put this presentation together for you all tonight in the clearest way possible. It makes sense. From there, you understand, learn, and manipulate the forces of entropy versus evolution, acceleration in time space. Care for and energize the physical body with this extra energy as a vehicle for immortality. Realize the need to fuel the energy body towards reconfiguration from physical entropic to light essence realized. And I'm going to tell you, really honestly, one of my biggest lessons in life is I had Epstein-Barr for about 15 years, and then it was kind of went underground. And then I through all these practices, it made me clear so many things just to be able to get up in the morning and live. And so it was my guru, it was my teacher. But doing this work, I have the most energy at my age than I've ever had in my whole life. More energy, more focus, more joy. I'm laughing more than I've ever laughed. Finally, in gathering that extra energy, you fuel your immortality vessel daily with the practices. Okay, and some of these practices are like this, and some are they're more in doing this. Okay, fifth order. Handle the energetic drains, right? What drains energy from you? Stress, bad news, past emotional traumas that you haven't gotten over. So the ego is the reactionary self, and it's a deterrent to your personal presence. In other words, here you are, you're feeling fine, and then something happens and you go crazy. You're out of presence. So some of the things that I'm going to teach is how to mitigate the ego in the moment. So the next step is acknowledge that ego and personality disorders, they actually contribute to world Maya. And Maya is defined as illusion. And what's illusion? Illusion is this kind of thick energy that keeps us separate from who we really are. Carlos Castaneda used to talk about it as the wall of fog. And he'd get through the wall of fog, and he would be in this other reality, this quantum reality. I mean, it blew him away. And he had a hard time remembering what happened there, because when he came back through the wall, he'd lose it. And he'd spent years doing the practices so he could get enough energy to remember what happened over there. Next thing is you commit to releasing your personal Maya configurations that came from your negative human experiences, aka your personal story. More on that. I'm going to give you techniques for that. Clear energetic drains, past emotions, terrible memories, leeches, invaders, unresolved dimensional drags, parallel world battles, etc., etc. There are many things that you don't see that are pulling on you and actually influencing the way you think and feel. We're going to learn about that more in the second trimester. But also this includes deconstructing limiting beliefs, constructs, and paradigms. Okay, I'm not good enough, right? Where are you going to get in the world with that? I'm not good enough, right? So these are all things that we have programs, and we have ways of recognizing it and then dealing with it succinctly. Becoming aware of and resolving the components of the human configuration in order to accelerate personal evolution into divinity. This is a whole workshop called the Corridor that I do, and I'm hoping that on a Saturday I'll teach you the basics for 2 hours, and then whoever is willing to sign up and go for hours after that, then I'll take you through the whole human configuration. It's quite fascinating. Resolve the dream of duality and suffering, right? Duality, and suffering. And that's kind of what's defining density reality now. And finally, the sixth order. You must engage, you must practice, and you must realize the lessons as they come to you. So you must engage with some practice every day that helps you align your 3D vehicle with your evolving quantum vehicle. Now, meditation will do this. It's wonderful. That's a great start. It may help you to have additional practices where you actually go, oh my gosh, that thing I just saw is what's making me feel this way. And many stories around that. Okay, access external energy sources utilized for renewal, productivity, and acceleration daily. And it could just be like, I am powerful. I am present. I am here. Those are called mentations or declaratives. Okay, so you declare the I am of what you are, and it takes you out of like meh and into presence. Engage with the intent, immortal, eternal, and one with the one daily. We learn to do that. That's a whole initiation. Stay in presence, aligned with the intent of source for you to evolve. You is the one to evolve so that you can remember and be one again. Like, no questions asked. I am the one. I am one, right? Learn, study, engage in practices outlined in the Immortality Club. Now, this does not say, you can't go to church or you can't go and meditate with those people over there. There's nothing that says, there's nothing exclusive about the Immortality Club. It is a training to allow you to get way, way more out of your life.